Ben Carson, former hopeful in the Republican Party for the nomination for president, now Trump supporter and surrogate, went on Morning Joe, and this is the interaction he had with the host who asked him about to defend Trump.
You seem to be suggesting this morning in this interview with your description of the first-class cabin and in previous interviews that these women are lying. The real reason that women who have been sexually abused don't come forward to talk about their stories is precisely this, that all too often they are accused of being liars. Are you saying that these women are lying?
That's your characterization, because you need to characterize it that way to try to make me the bad guy.
No,
but here's the fact.
No, you just said it could. It's a question. You were describing a first-class cabin where there was no.
Stop. Hey, can you turn her microphone off, please?
No.
Turn her microphone off so I can talk.
No. It's a simple question. Yes or no? Do you believe these women are lying or not? Nobody's trying to paint you as a bad guy. We just want an answer. Straight talk.
It doesn't matter whether they're lying or not.
Of course it matters.
What matters, listen, it doesn't matter whether they're lying or not. What matters is that the train is going off the cliff. We're taking our eye off of that, and we're getting involved in other issues that can be taken care of later.
If the campaign is saying, and you are suggesting that they are lying because this possibly couldn't have happened because of the way that first-class cabins are designed and their air hostess is there, which is implying that you think they are lying, that they're not telling the truth, then that's a huge issue.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is the interaction that he had with Caddy K. Then he went on to have a discussion with Joe Scarborough over Judeo-Christian values and their place in American discourse. Take a listen.
I love the fact that all of a sudden you want to talk about morality in our country. I would love us to bring back our Judeo-Christian values and begin to teach those things and emphasize them at a time other than a political election. Let's do that. But right now, the train is going off the cliff.
Are they not relevant?
You've got to understand that.
I think Judeo-Christian values should apply not only when we're not in the midst of a campaign, but I think it should apply in a campaign. You said, let's just push the Judeo-Christian ethics to the side during the middle of the campaign. Let's talk about it later. Shouldn't they apply right now as much as usual, as much as at any time?
Why is it that you people in the media like to take something that someone said and then try to recharacterize it as something else so that you can then come back and say, this is what he said? Why not just listen to what I'm telling you?
I am listening to what you're telling me, and you can go back, and the great thing is we have transcripts and we have tapes, and you said we shouldn't focus on Judeo-Christian values right now.
Now, let me tell you what I actually said, and I'm glad it is on the tape.
I am too.
I said I would love for us to engage in a conversation on Judeo-Christian values, and I would love for us to bring morality back. And we need to do it at times other than a political campaign. But we're not doing that.
You know, I might surprise you guys a little bit here, but I kind of felt bad for Ben Carson there. And even when I agree with Joe Scarborough, I find him unbearable. I can't stomach him. So, look, is Ben Carson right on the
He's
merits?
Not answering the question, though, Cenk. That's what's going. So blame the media for asking the question.
No, no. But Ben Carson is a slow talker. The guy said half a sentence, and then they jumped all over.
Because
right?
he wasn't.
No, but when they say just
question.
answer the question. Well, it depends. If it's a fair question, and I think it's a great argument to make in this case that it was a fair question, I think it's okay to say, hey, come on, after he finishes his answer, to say, but Ben, you didn't answer the question, right? Now, on the other hand, you know, I've been on TV and gotten asked unfair questions. Like, hey, I'm against Hillary Clinton during the primaries. Oh, so answer the question, are you against a historic win for women in America? No, I'm not going to answer that question. That's a trick question. So, and then if you interrupt him halfway through his answer, you didn't even let him make his bad answer and his bad point. So I didn't love that as Ben Carson's an idiot clip.
No, I can't believe this. I agree with you. I thought that, and I don't think his cut off for Mike, that was a guy who had been cut off and was super frustrated. He even smiled after it. Like, I know that was his rhetorical trick. Now, I mean, you know, everything he said is nonsensical. His talk about Judeo-Christian the Judeo-Christian ethic in this country, which is always meant to, generally, when the right uses it, is meant to exclude people. He's a giant hypocrite about that because as any man of principle, any person of principle, upon hearing what has happened with Donald Trump in the last 10 days, would walk away. He'd walk away. He'd say, can't vote for Hillary Clinton. I think it's dangerous, but we have made a terrible, terrible mistake. And he'd walk away, but he can't do it. So he's
evangelical and religious voters.
Yeah.
He's religious to the core, and he is for. I mean, the only thing I'll fault the Scarborough people on is bringing him on because that's what you get from Ben Carson. You don't get an answer. You never get an answer. But they brought him on, and he didn't answer the question that Scarborough was asking about the women, about the assault. I think that Scarborough was right to do what he did.
What do you mean, Scarborough people?
There's a couple. This election,
whatever the show's called.
This election has given us so many great phrases. I'm not even going to use the main one, right? But I mean, first of all, move on her like a, right?
Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing any man has ever said. Right? Yep. Literally, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. But it's funny in the abstract, and it will continue, I suspect, for years and years.
Billy Bush thought it was hysterical.
Billy Bush thought it was terrible. So I just, Scarborough, there you go. Straight talk. Shut up, man.
Well, that was John McCain who gave us.
It was,
straight
but
talk.
I know, but I mean, but for just, that doesn't come from this election, but just Scarborough, it amused me. It's just so many amusing things happen. He's like, come on, straight talk. Like, man, it's Morning Joe. Nothing about Morning Joe is straight talk. So it's just, right?
I don't know.
I have to give Scarborough so much credit, though, for the first guy to really successfully transform what a host can wear. And I totally think that's awesome. And that makes me like Joe Scarborough.
The three-quarter zip.
But nothing is better than, nothing will ever be better than,
like,
hang on, I got to get in my mode. And the Donald scores again.
That's Billy, yeah.
I mean, that is the best thing.
Ben Carson tried to give us the train goes off the cliff, mixing his metaphors there twice.
Yeah. And everyone agrees with him on that. I just think that Ben Carson is an idiot.
Yes, he is.
And in the practical sense, I think it's fine to have Ben Carson on your show, and it's fine to make him seem like an idiot because he is. And yes, there's little traps that they set for him that he's such an idiot he can walk into. He's trying to change the discussion away from sexual assault and pivot it toward the train going off the cliff. Like change it from stupid to dumb. Mm-hmm. Like neither of those is like a positive metaphor. No one knows how to pivot because the only people left are Ben Carsons of the world, the Kurt Schillings of the world, and the Donald Trump Juniors who are going to go speak up for Donald Trump.
And trains go off the track, not the cliff.
If the track ends at the cliff, Michael,
well, that's true. Yeah.
Well, what other option does it have?
So look, let me be clear. Ben Carson has made us lose respect for all brain surgeons, and he is historically unintelligent when it comes to politics and his views. Well, also when it comes to religion, people don't talk about it. We broke the story. He has talked in the past about how his religious beliefs are that there's two great Satans in the world, the Catholic Church and America. How did they not bring that up during the primaries?
Do you think that?
So he believes in kooky stuff.
They didn't bring it up in the primaries because it was never necessary. They didn't need to. Nobody needed to spend a second worrying about Ben Carson. I wonder if Ben Carson has heard the really spectacular InfoWars clip about Hillary and the devil, and they smell.
Oh, and they smell sulfur. There's no way he doesn't believe that. Of course he believes that.
That's almost my favorite clip of all time.
Yeah, and so and in the midst of this, I don't know if you missed it, but he said, "Would you listen for a moment? Do you guys have a plug, please?" I don't know what that means. Okay, I don't know what "do you have a plug" means. So I get all that.
I didn't hear that.
But I know because he's Ben Carson. And he says,
He got pretty animated for Ben Carson.
I know. Yeah. But in the midst of that, don't make him a victim because I thought they cut him off like crazy and didn't give him a fair chance.
I disagree. I thought it was great. Maybe because I've seen him evade answers so many freaking times like you have, and no more than you guys have. But he never answers a question, and he did it again there. And this is a question that should be so easy to answer. Just say, yeah, this is bad. I deplore this.
You know what? This is how I believe, okay? I'm from the old school.
And the old school is also part of the Young Turks Network. Get the whole network by becoming a member today. TYTnetwork.com/join.